Hi class, I wanted to run through StatCrunch for those of you that wanted to review what I did in class. It's pretty easy, and there's about 8 different charts and plots that help you analyze the data. And one of those, of course, is a stem and leaf plot. And the advantage of that is you can see the actual data points in the stem and leaf plot, but it's a little bit difficult when there's a large data set. So anyway, here we are. This is question 6, and you could easily do that by hand if you wanted to. The first thing you do is you order the data. So we opened up, actually, if you didn't see it, that little thing right there, that opens up StatCrunch. So if you click that, you get your data here, and you can click that triangle to order it. All right, so there's our data in ascending order. And if you want to, you can, plug in the numbers. You got a 7 there. Your first one would be a 7. Or you could use the tool, pick the variable, and just, boom, there you go. So that's the stem and leaf plot. There's the stem, and there are the leaves. So you have to know what those mean, of course. But that's one way to get it. Let's look at another. So in a stem and leaf plot that has 2 stems like this, this is for 0 to 4, and this is to 5 to 9. So when they split it up like that, that's what that means. Dot plot. What's nice about the dot plot is you can see clusters, and you can see outliers easily, and gaps. All right, makes it very easy to do that. Like this data means nothing to me, can't read anything, but if you put it on a dot plot, it becomes meaningful. So how do you create that? You open it in StatCrunch, go to Graph, and dot plot. Pick your variable, and the point size lets you adjust the size of the dot. So that's what that's doing. 2's fine. You compute, and there you go. All right, so you can see that this perhaps is the mode. It has the most frequency. It looks like it. Or maybe it's tied with these. But anyway, that's how you create your dot plot. Let's go to let's see, number 9. Okay, this one. This is a Pareto chart. And the beauty of the Pareto chart is that, it lets you focus on, the variable that has the most importance, the most frequency right away. You can see that in this chart easily. All right, so in this one, we're looking at medal counts in a sports competition. All right, so let's build that. Here's our StatCrunch. You can build that there. All right, this is a little different. For the Pareto chart, you pick bar plot with summary. All right, and then you pick your variable in these first 2, and then you can put the value above the bar, and you want value descending. That's the key of the Pareto chart. Okay, and so there you go. So that's how you create a Pareto chart in StatCrunch. And the reason I'm showing you this, you could spend a lot of time creating these things, but you should know how to analyze them. Analyze what that means and know why you would use this chart. And this chart, a Pareto chart, is used in quality control because it just points out, hey, if we focus on this one here, we can eliminate some of our variation, or in this one says immediately, this country has the most, okay? This country B, has the most medals. So it points out what is the most significant. All right. Next one, scatter plot. That's when you want to relate 2 variables. What's the relationship between 2 variables? And here we're looking at wages and hours worked. All right, what's the relationship between that? This one looks like when hours goes up, wages goes up, which kind of makes sense. This one is kind of all over the place. So anyway, that's how you can see if there's a relationship between the 2 variables, the one on the x-axis and y, And so how do you create that chart? So you've got two variables here. And we are once again going to graph scatter plot right here. And we're going to, let's say we put hours in one on the x-axis and the wage on the y-axis. And let's just go for it. All right, so there you go. There's the hours and the wages. And this tells you the relationship. It doesn't look like there's much of a relationship at all there. As x goes up, well, it went up there, but then I went up higher in x and y went down. Okay, so that's a scatter plot. And then time series. I think there's a couple different ways to do that. StatCrunch has something built in. Is this time series? Yeah. So this gives you regular intervals on the x-axis and lets you see the relationship to that, to the variable in the y-axis. And I just, honestly, I just do this one like a scatter plot. So we've got two columns. And I'm going to put year on the x-axis. I'm just going to build it. You could probably do it with this one, either way. So on the x-axis, I'm going to put year and degrees on the y. I guess you could do points or lines. Maybe we'll pick lines here. All right, so there we go. That's our time series. And you could play with the options. I'm not real familiar with them, like points, filled circle. All right, so is that it? The only other one is this one here. To see the stem and leaf, you just have to click that. All right, you're basically comparing the data here with the data here. And if you understand those two charts, it's pretty simple to do. So I hope that helps you. You can run through these problems just like I did. But you have to kind of understand a little bit about StatCrunch. But I do want you to understand the advantages of each of those graphs and be able to, above all, to read them and make sense of the data. All right, good luck.